Hello, yes. So let me walk through the analysis I performed on the Sakila Film Rental dataset. I will follow the same order as the Jupyter notebook that I am sharing with the team, so it's easy for both the team and the stakeholders to understand not just the results, but how we got the queries results. So to start, I set up the working environment by loading the original SQLite database into DuckDB using a short Python pipeline. So the notebook shows everything I did here, creating the DuckDB file, running the ingestion script, checking the schema, and registering data frames for use in SQL and Pandas. So this makes the process transparent and repeatable for later analysis. So anyone in the team who wants to rerun or extend the analysis can do it without touching the raw files. And the first task, A, which is I looked at long films, specifically anything over 180 minutes. With a simple filter on the length column, we found 39. We found 39 titles that run over 3 hours. This is a relatively small cluster, and long films typically have lower turnover because people rarely watch them on impulse, or people want to have a shorter film because it's an attention economy nowadays. So from a business standpoint, this means long films are fine to have, but they're not the area to invest in if the goal is to increase the rentals quickly. The second task is was to see how many films contain the word LOV in their title. I used a case-insensitive pattern matching, and the result was 10 films. It's a small and controlled segment. Um, so the next one is descriptive analysis, statistics. So these things were become more interesting. Oh no, actually, yes, I also checked the shortest film in the descriptive analysis for film lengths. So the shortest film in the catalog runs for 46 minutes. The median sits at 115, 115. The maximum comes at 185 minutes. So this is exactly the kind of distribution you expect from a typical rental business. It's there's no structural imbalance here. So if you want a corrective action, then maybe we can increase the short form rental films. So this is the task 4, where things become a bit more interesting from an operational and pricing perspective. So I calculated each film's daily rental price by dividing the rental rate by the rental duration. So once I had that metric, I ranked the films. And a key detail here is that I used dense ranking rather than just sorting and applying a limit. And the reason is that the dataset contains a lot of tie breakers. You can see here, many films share the same daily cost. For example, the highest daily price in the entire catalog is 1.66. However, that price applies to 62 different films. So if I simply ran a top 10 most expensive films and limited the result to 10 rows, it would cut off 52 films with the exact same price. So the dense ranking avoids the problem by grouping ties at the same rank. So from a business perspective, this says that the pricing model is extremely flat. There is almost no difference between the film's daily price and rental rates. So the high value content and the low value content films often end up priced the same. So yeah, so the next one is I also created um, film price distribution in percentiles. So I just wanted to see, and we have this. And then, yes, I created bins from low price, medium high, and very, very high price. So this count is the number of films that we have. And in the store, we currently have more than half of the films are low priced. Next is that I repeated a similar ranking logic, but this time for actors. So it's basically asking which actors appear in the most films. Again, because of the structure of the dataset, we see a significant number of ties. In fact, 42 actors, no, 40, 41, 41, 40, 40 actors share some ranks because they appear in the same number of films. So if when someone asks who are the top 10 actors, then analytically honest answer is actually a group larger than 10 because of these ties. So that basically means we cannot really pinpoint one actor per one ranking of movie counts because we have a lot of tiebreakers. So we can say that because the dataset is ensemble heavy, meaning like then actor-based marketing will not be as effective, because if ever in the future you want to add more inventory on Tom Cruise or Natalie Hopkins, then the ranking will change again. So a good marketing way is genre-based or mood-based recommendations, which I think will resonate more with the customers. And I will show later in the query that a genre-based recommendation is better. For task 6, just give me a second. Yes, I also examined the monthly revenue. So I aggregated the payments by month and charted the trend. So the pattern is clear here that revenue peaks in 2005 of July, well, we can say June, and bottoms out in February 2006 or January. Maybe this aligns with the typical entertainment cycles where people rent more films in the summer and much less during earlier periods. To translate this, maybe you can lean into peak months with expanded promotions and ensure that inventory is sufficient for higher demand during the summer months because the revenue is higher, as we can see from the revenue history. And also for the lower months, we can also target discounts or theme campaigns so that we could help stabilize the revenue because it's very low in here. And another one I did is I focus on the top revenue generating films and their genres. So I joined all payments all the way through rentals and inventory back to films and categories. And the highest earning film is Telegraph Voyage, bringing in 231 in revenue. The 10th is Hustler Party at 190. So the revenue here is quite concentrated, meaning that a relatively small slice of the catalog is doing the heavy lifting, which is around here. So this is like a classic 80-20 dynamic. So these top films are the ones you want to make sure that are always in stock and giving a strong visibility in the rental interface, like the store or the website. And I also pivoted to EDA for the customers. So I ranked total spend per customer. And because of that, the ties, because of the ties, where is it? Yes, here, as you can see, we have the ties. You wanted to know the top 5 total spend customers, and because of the ties, at 100, what is this? 194 in rank 4 and 5. No, rank 4 and 4 for 194. So these are actually the high value individuals. We can even extend it to top 10 if you want. And they are the strong renters. So I think it depends on how many customers you want as a candidate for a reward program or maybe even an early access offer. But if you want to run on small experiments, maybe doing some dynamic pricing or recommendations to these customers will be a safe signal group to start with. And yes, so we have Carl, Eleanor in this order. Next, this is the most interesting one. I looked at the revenue by film category and compared it with how many films your company actually has in each category. So this is where a major mismatch appears in some companies. For yours, it's not that much. So the categories like sports, where is it? Yes. Categories like sports, sci-fi, animation, and drama generate significantly more revenue than others, yet we can check the actual number of films available in these categories is relatively low. So meanwhile, some weaker categories may have a disproportionate amount of inventory. So if we fix this misalignment, it can reduce revenue decrease. So if the company increases the number of titles in the high earning categories, maybe more on the sci-fi, animation, and drama, match the sports, then you can expect a meaningful improvement in the rental performance. So it's not that the weaker genres should be removed entirely, but they shouldn't be consuming the budget of the company at the expense of the stronger ones. So yes, that is my analysis. Thank you.